Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Belle, and this is your third stimulus update for the third stimulus package for Saturday, January 23rd. So I just wanted to start out by saying thank you for those who are watching my video, who are commenting, who are liking and subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate every single last one of you guys. For those who come on and leave your very nice comments, thank you so much. You guys make my day quite often when I read your nice comments. So wherever you are, I hope that good things come to you very, very soon. So in this video, we will be talking about the third stimulus check. When can you get your $1,400? Also, I will be answering some questions that I've gotten about Social Security and the additional $200 that was proposed by the Biden-Harris administration and also Senator Warren from Massachusetts. So I wanted to answer that question for you guys because I got a lot of people who chat about it who feel some kind of way. I just wanted to bring that up to you guys and show you right there where did I get my sources from, and yeah, so you can go look it up yourself. All right, so let's get started. But before we do, of course, we have some housekeeping rules. You guys should know this by now. Be sure to like this video immediately for me, guys, and subscribe to the channel and turn on your post notification if you haven't already. So let's get started. President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief plan proposed a third round of stimulus checks of $1,400 for most Americans. Yet, while that could extend a helping hand to millions of households still suffering from the pandemic economic fallout, it could be months until the payments arrive, analysts said. The price tag for the relief, called the American Rescue Plan, is likely to face some pushback from the Republican lawmakers who last year resist Democratic efforts to pass a $2 trillion bill. We knew this was coming, so everyone wants to know when. And to answer the question, we're going to have to see what comes out of this in the next few weeks. So hopefully, I've seen some things where Nancy Pelosi have stated that she wants this to be done for February 1st of 2021. I've also seen some things that where President Joe Biden have stated that before March of 2021. So that's pretty quick in comparison to the 9 months that we waited for the second stimulus check. So let's hope that can definitely take place that way. But we're going to have to see because the price tag for the relief plan is very high. So because of that, there's going to be some pushback with the Republican Party because, you know, they're not trying to spend like that. But most analysts think lawmakers on both sides will back the $1,400 direct payments, which economists view as a lifeline for many cash-strapped workers who lost their jobs or have seen their income plummet during the pandemic. If you guys haven't, I have another video that talked about Mitch McConnell backing the $1,400 and the $2,000 stimulus check direct payments to the American people. So that is good that there's support on both sides and they want money for the American people. Now is trimming down the bill and seeing where they can compromise on the $1.9 trillion bill. Support for another stimulus package may gain steam given several developments that point to widening economic distress as the pandemic worsens. A weaker outlook for the labor market with a bigger than expected 1 million jobless claim during the first week of January, as well as record number of COVID-19 infections and deaths, can push lawmakers to support President Biden's plan for additional stimulus. The market is back to an exception that more fiscal stimulus is all about inevitable in the early days of the Biden administration. With the release of the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan, while we anticipate that additional fiscal support remains likely, the timing and scope are very much in flux. Are the $1,400 checks a done deal? Very likely. According to Wall Street and political analysts, there is a growing support among Republican lawmakers for additional stimulus directed towards low and middle income households, with the latest effort to pass the 2000 stimulus check winning a lot of bipartisan support. There's an 85% chance of a scaled down package will be passed in the first 3 months of 2021. Because of the ongoing support for additional direct aid to households, checks are likely to be included in the smaller package. We believe there's a support for a smaller package that includes the $1,400 check. More help health care funding, support for small businesses, and some state and local aid. When would I get a $1,400 check? I think the package could be passed in mid-February to mid-March after the relief bill passes Congress. It must be signed by President Joe Biden. After that, the IRS would distribute the funds direct deposit, mail checks, and prepaid cards. It is likely that the House will vote on Mr. Biden's American Rescue Plan in the first week of February. And the first stimulus payment in April 2020, which directed $1,200 to eligible adults as well as $500 per child. It typically took 2 weeks to several months for payments to reach people. The second round of checks, which sent out $600 to eligible adult and child, required about a week for the funds to arrive via direct deposit. But in some cases, people experienced delays in receiving the money due to the problem with their account information. President Biden signed an order yesterday, January 22nd, that has directed the Treasury to streamline the delivery of stimulus checks for those who have not yet received their direct payment. Based on previous stimulus money payouts and assuming Congress passed a new relief bill by mid-February, the checks could arrive in bank accounts by late February. Although that would likely be the best case scenario, if a package is passed by the end of March, people might get their checks by early April. The caveat is these timeframes assume that at least 10 Republican senators support the package, allowing for 60 votes in the Senate to overcome a possible filibuster and pass the bill. If the Biden administration cannot muster enough GOP support, stimulus backers could move to pass it under the process known as budget reconciliation. That is a maneuver only requires a majority vote for legislation to become law, though it can delay the passage. Would more people qualify for a check? Millions more Americans can qualify for a check under Biden and Harris stimulus plan if passed as it envisioned. One of his goals is to expand the payments to adult dependents who were excluded for the first 2 rounds of checks. That exclusion meant college students who are claimed as dependents on their parents' taxes, as well as disabled adults who claim as dependents didn't qualify for a check. Because the 2 previous relief checks define a child as someone who was younger than 17 years old, they excluded high school students who are 17 or 18. Mr. Biden's plan would also extend the payments to older teenagers. Do Americans really need the money? Science points to millions of households facing rising financial hardship as the pandemic worsens, which is causing some business to lay off staff and cut back hours. In December, hiring around the U.S. fell for the first time in 7 months as the virus weighed especially hard on restaurants, bars, and other service-related businesses. The number of Americans applying for weekly jobless claim last week jumped to nearly 1 million people. I know that the $600 per person stimulus check probably didn't even last longer than a month. Most said they would use the money to pay household bills and day-to-day essentials. So on to some of the questions that I get quite often in my comment section. It is about Social Security, the additional $200 proposal. Biden's platform calls for big changes to Social Security, and here's what's on the table for you. One of the things that I talked about recently in this video, if you see it right here, Biden's coronavirus stimulus plans calls for increasing Social Security checks by $200 per month during the pandemic, an idea that has also been supported by other politicians. The link is in the description box below for you to read it yourself, because a lot of people are just like, oh, where am I getting my information from? I'm getting it from here. The Biden Emergency Action Plan to Save the Economy. It is a proposal by the Biden administration where he stated that because of this pandemic and how it's raging through communities of low income and folks who receive Social Security benefits, he proposes increasing Social Security checks by $200 per month during the pandemic. So everyone is like, where is this coming from? I got some people that said, oh, I've asked my caseworker at the SSI office and they said they don't know anything about this. The link is in the description below. The Biden Emergency Action Plan to Save the Economy on the Biden-Harris website, where they talk about what they would like to do and the proposals that they're setting. This is not coming from my mouth. I did not make this up. Some folks are in my comments calling me a liar, saying I don't know what I'm talking about, but it is right here where Biden administration says increase monthly Social Security checks by $200 per month as proposed by Senator Wyden and colleagues. Seniors and people with disabilities are uniquely at risk right now. So that's one of the things that the Biden administration is trying to do for seniors and those with disabilities, to increase their Social Security checks by an additional $200 per month. It is a proposal that hasn't been passed or signed on yet. I know a lot of folks are just like, where am I getting this information from? Well, this is where. So I've left the link in the description so you can go read it yourself. Definitely do your own due diligence, and please try not to come onto people's pages and call them liars because you haven't heard something or you don't understand. You know what I'm saying? There's nicer way to say it, you know? Okay, so that is all I have in this video today. Thank you so much for those who have tuned with me this long. I appreciate it. If you have any additional questions, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. I definitely always go back and answer them. Definitely check out my recent videos where I talked about the pandemic EBT and relief that the Biden administration is looking to give to the American people. So once again, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely like this video. Share it with a friend. Until next time, thanks for tuning in.